So here we have our 2004 Bobcat 430 ZHS mini excavator. We bought this brand new 2004. It's a 41.8 horsepower machine. It's a smaller machine. It's only just over 8,000 pounds, putting it at the 3.6 ton class. It has it's 2-speed. Has a 5.6 mile an hour high travel speed and in low 2.6 mile an hour. Has a arm digging force of 3,844 pounds and a bucket digging force of 6,866 pounds. The lift capacity is just over 2,600 pounds. It lifts pretty well for the most part. It has a max digging depth of just over 10 feet, as well as a dump height of just over 10 feet. It has a 17.8 gallon fuel tank. I'll show you the fuel tank over here on the door side. So it's really easy to get to, whether you're at a pump or using a 5-gallon tank. With this machine, you need a key. You need a key to open up your gas tank, which is kind of a nice feature. It has a 15.9 gallon per minute auxiliary flow. So if you walk around the back of the machine, see your exhaust down there. This is how you open the engine compartment, putting your hand in here. And you push back on the lever. Sometimes it's a little bit of a pain, kind of hard one-handed. 1 second, I'll just put the camera down for a second. So we'll open that up, show you the engine compartment. So this has most of the engine on the back side. You can see your exhaust here where it came out that hole out the back. Then you can also come over here to the side, open up this compartment. This one has most of your hydraulics, all your hoses right here. And you got your radiator in the front, your batteries down in the front. Pretty easy to get to. So most of the engine compartments and hydraulics are pretty accessible on this machine. It's, as usual, crammed in there, but not too bad. Flip this little lever to close the door. So we'll walk inside the machine. I'll show you guys the features of the interior. So before we sit in the machine, I'll show you guys a couple things that are kind of hard to see while sitting in the machine. Down here, we have our controls. We can switch between A and B controls. A being standard, and B being the ISO, which I call deer controls. That's what I run. That's why the lever's in that setting right now. So we'll hop in the machine. So these right here are to control your driving, your ground drive. I'll turn the machine on here. You got your key on the right side. This lever right here pulls up your blade, goes up and down. On the left, you have your other joystick. You just put it down with that red lever till it locks in. That controls your bucket. So moving these sticks just moves you forwards. Your blade is always the front, so pushing these forward, pulling it back is going to pull you backwards. You can also drive with your feet, putting these levers down. You can control it with your feet. Depending on if you have to move and operate the bucket, that's really what those are for. So those just flip in and out. On this right side, you have another lever similar to the foot levers. that moves your bucket at the, that moves your boom at the cab right here. So for digging in some tricky spots, that's a nice feature, being able to do that. This is also a zero tail swing machine, meaning that when you spin the machine, the rear end does not go past the tracks. So you don't have to worry about hitting things in tight areas. You don't really have to have a spotter when you're in tight areas. So on the right side, we have all of our gauges. We have all of our warnings. We have our oil temperature, our fuel gauge, and our hour meter. This machine has just over 1,600 hours. Right here is your throttle. So right here is your auxiliary switch. You press that. Using this button, controls the claw, the thumb. You know, your lights, just turns on your lights. To the left we have our AC and heat controls, which work great. Although it's 2004, everything still works fabulous in this machine. As you can see, the front glass panel is not there right now. On this machine, it just slides up. A couple hooks, clips in. You can move it up and down, really easy to move. You know, you can open all your windows in the machine. You can open the back, front. This window in the rear cannot be open. You can leave the door open, which is always nice. So this is the 430 ZHS. It's been a great machine for us. It does what we need it to. So thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe.